tensions between the United States and Iran appear to be entering a far more serious phase. The US military is preparing for the possibility of sustained, weeks-long operations against Iran if President Donald Trump orders an attack. To US officials, speaking on condition of anonymity due to the sensitive nature of the planning, indicated that the scope of preparations goes beyond a limited or symbolic strike. This development significantly raises the stakes for ongoing diplomatic efforts. US envoys Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner are scheduled to hold negotiations with Iranian representatives in Geneva, with Oman acting as a mediator. On 7 February 2026, US Secretary of State Marco Rubio stated that President Trump's preference is to reach a deal with Tehran, but he admitted that achieving such an agreement would be very hard to do. At the same time, the military buildup in the region suggests Washington is keeping all options open. US officials confirmed that the Pentagon is sending an additional aircraft carrier to the Middle East, deploying thousands of additional troops along with substantial firepower. This includes capabilities designed both for offensive strikes and defensive responses, signaling preparation for a potentially broader confrontation. When asked on 7 February whether he would like to see regime change in Iran, President Trump responded that it seems like that would be the best thing that could happen, criticizing Iran's leadership and pointing to decades of strained relations. However, Trump has long expressed skepticism about committing US ground troops to a large-scale conflict in Iran. The current military positioning indicates that, if action is taken, it would likely rely heavily on air and naval power rather than a ground invasion. One of the officials noted that in a sustained campaign, US forces could target not only Iran's nuclear infrastructure but also state and security facilities. That would represent a much broader objective than previous limited strike scenarios and could escalate the conflict significantly. Experts warn that the risks to US forces would be considerable. Iran possesses a substantial missile arsenal capable of targeting American bases across the region. Iran's Revolutionary Guard has already warned that if Iranian territory is struck, it would retaliate against any US military base within reach. Such retaliation could quickly widen the conflict and draw in additional regional actors. In this context, diplomacy and military readiness are unfolding side by side. While negotiations in Geneva offer a potential off-ramp, the simultaneous build-up of US forces underscores the seriousness of the moment. If talks fail, what begins as targeted strikes could evolve into a prolonged and far more dangerous confrontation between the two countries. The coming days will be critical. Whether diplomacy prevails or military action moves forward may shape not only US-Iran relations, but the broader stability of the Middle East.